Hello everyone, welcome to Night Tales. I am Saiful, and I hope you all are doing well. Today, the story I'm going to tell you is something you might find hard to believe. It sounds like a fictional movie script, but let me tell you, this is a 100% real event from American history. This is a story that has baffled the FBI for over 50 years. Let's dive straight into the mystery. The story begins on November 24, 1971. In Portland, Oregon. It was the afternoon before Thanksgiving Day. Since the next day was a national holiday, the airport wasn't very crowded. A man, aged between 40 and 45, arrived at the Portland International Airport. He was around 6 feet tall, wearing a dark business suit, a crisp white shirt, a black tie, and a black raincoat. He looked like a professional businessman. He carried a black briefcase in his hand. He walked up to the Northwest Orient Airlines counter and asked for a one-way ticket to Seattle. He paid $20 in cash and used the name Dan Cooper. He was assigned to Flight 305, a Boeing 727 aircraft. Back in 1971, there were no metal detectors or bag checks. All you needed was a ticket. Once on board, Cooper took seat 18C at the very back of the plane. He placed his briefcase on the seat next to him. He put on dark sunglasses, ordered a bourbon and soda, and lit a cigarette. There were 36 passengers and 6 crew members on that flight. The plane took off at 2:50 p.m. for what should have been a short 30-minute journey. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper handed a folded note to a flight attendant named Florence Schaffner. Florence, thinking he was just a lonely traveler trying to give her his phone number, dropped the note into her pocket without reading it. Cooper saw this, leaned toward her, and whispered, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." Florence froze. She opened the note, which was written in all capital letters. It said, "I have a bomb in my briefcase. I will use it if necessary. I want you to sit next to me. You are being hijacked." She sat down, and Cooper opened his briefcase just enough for her to see 8 red cylinders, dynamite sticks, connected by wires to a large battery. Cooper's demands were clear and precise. 1. $200,000 in negotiable American currency. 2. 4 parachutes, 2 primary and 2 reserve. 3. A fuel truck standing by in Seattle to refuel the plane upon landing. Florence took the note to the captain, William Scott. The news was immediately relayed to Air Traffic Control and the FBI. The FBI contacted the president of Northwest Orient Airlines, who decided to cooperate fully to save the passengers. They contacted a bank in Seattle to gather $200,000 in $20 bills. This was a heavy amount, 10,000 bills weighing about 21 pounds or nearly 10 kilograms. The FBI secretly recorded the serial numbers of every single bill. For 2 hours, the plane circled Seattle while the FBI prepared the ransom. To avoid panic, the passengers were told that the plane had a minor mechanical issue. Inside the cabin, Cooper remained incredibly calm. He even offered to buy the flight crew meals when they landed. He wasn't aggressive, he was polite. When the attendant, Tina Mucklow, asked if he had a grudge against the airline, he replied, "I don't have a grudge against your airline, I just have a grudge." At 5:45 p.m., the plane landed in Seattle. As per Cooper's instructions, the plane was parked in a remote, brightly lit area of the runway. The airline manager delivered the bag of cash and the 4 parachutes. In exchange, Cooper released all 36 passengers and several crew members. Now, only 5 people remained: the pilot, co-pilot, flight engineer, Tina Mucklow, and Dan Cooper. Cooper then ordered the pilot to fly toward Mexico City. He gave very specific flight instructions that shocked the pilots. Fly at a maximum altitude of 10,000 feet. Usually planes fly at 30,000 feet. Keep the landing gear down and the wing flaps at 15 degrees. Keep the cabin unpressurized. And most importantly, leave the rear stairs open. The pilot argued that it was dangerous to take off with the stairs down. Cooper said, "Fine, I'll lower them myself in the air." At 7:40 p.m., the plane took off again. 2 Air Force fighter jets followed the Boeing 727 from above and below, But because of the heavy rain and dark night, they couldn't see much. Once in the air, Cooper ordered Tina to go to the cockpit and lock the door. As she walked away, she saw Cooper tying something around his waist. It was the bag of money. At 8 p.m., a warning light in the cockpit showed that the rear stairs had been lowered. At 8:13 p.m., the pilots felt a sudden upward surge in the plane's tail. They asked over the intercom, "Is there anything we can do for you?" Cooper replied with one word, "No." That was the last time anyone ever heard from him. When the plane landed in Reno, Nevada at 10:15 p.m., the FBI stormed the aircraft. Cooper was gone. He had jumped into a freezing wilderness during a heavy thunderstorm. He left behind his tie, 2 of the parachutes, and several cigarette butts. Despite a massive search operation involving thousands of people, helicopters, and submarines in the nearby rivers, nothing was found. No body, no parachute, no money. The media accidentally misreported his name as D.B. Cooper, and the name stuck. The FBI investigated over 1,000 suspects. The most famous one was Richard McCoy, who hijacked a plane in a similar style just 4 months later and jumped out with $500,000. However, McCoy was only 29, while witnesses described Cooper as much older. Also, the DNA found on Cooper's tie didn't match McCoy. In 1980, an 8-year-old boy found $5,800 of the ransom money buried in the sand by the Columbia River. The bills were rotting, but the serial numbers matched. This raised more questions. If Cooper died in the river, where were the other $194,000? If he lived, why did he bury the money and never come back for it? In 2016, after 45 years of failure, the FBI officially closed the case. D.B. Cooper remains the only person in history to hijack a plane and vanish forever without a trace. Did he survive the jump and live a secret life? Or did the cold mountains of Washington become his final resting place? We may never know. I am Saiful, and you were watching Night Tales. If you found this mystery fascinating, please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know your theories in the comments. I'll see you in the next story. Thank you very much.